Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just doing a test stream. So, yeah. Morning, Apple. How you doing? Can you hear me all right, mate? Now I've got this all up and running properly. So, yeah, welcome to Lindseys Builds. So, yeah. Hello, Sophie. How you doing? Hope all is well. So, yeah. I'm stuck for words, actually. How silly of me. Oh, audio and visual, A-OK. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay. So anyway, welcome to Lindseys Builds. I have sent a couple of invites out. I'm only staying on till about 12, I think it is, when JC starts. Hello, Scott. Good day, sir. How you doing? So, yeah. So I'm going to go down a camera. Right. Hopefully everything's working okay. That one, I think. There we go. So I'm working on the Graf Zeppelin. So at the moment I have been doing, where's the parts? Where did I put them yesterday? There they are. So this is just more or less of an update, really. I'm going to try and fit these in. What I've been doing, I finished making these up yesterday, which are these, which are tiny little hose reels. So, yeah, can't really see because they are so tiny in the light. Yeah, they are really, really tiny. So I'm going to try and fit them today. So I'm not organised, so you'll have to bear with me. It's all on a whim. Just changing things around and sorting this thing out. So I've upgraded to a tower, quite a good one, and bought myself a new monitor. So yeah. Sophie says, good day, Scott. Are you building the Black Pearl, Lindsay? No, it's an aircraft carrier, Sophie. Scott says, hi, Sophie. So, yeah. So, hopefully, people are awake. So I'll take this off. I'll say I'm only here for about just over, well, it's about an hour and 20 minutes. So until JC, I think JC is on at 12, is he? Something like that. So I don't want to tread on his toes. So we're going to fit these reels, and these go onto the back of the ship. So which they go on in there. So I've got to put 4 of them in there. want my instructions. Show me where I've got to put them. Scott's model says yes, 12. Paulie says, Sophie says she is still poorly. Oh, bless you. Have you got that virus? We've got Lovely in. Lovely's Crafting Lodge. It says, howdy everyone. Hello there, Lovely. Nice to see you. It must be really early where you are. So, yeah. So like I say, I'm not here for long because I don't want to tread on JC's toes. So this is just more or less of a test stream. So, right. So I've got to try and get all 4 in the back here now, which is going to be very, very hard. Very, very, very hard. Let me look. So one goes there. Okay. So I'll probably have to pull this away from the camera when I'm fitting them. So I do apologise for that. So stick that on the old notice board. Right. Sophie says the doctor said I have a viral infection. Oh, bless you. Lovely says I'm up at 4 AM daily. It's 6:41 here, so I've been up for a while. We've got Tin Man in, and he says hi peeps. JC Bricks and Build says morning Lindsay and all in chat. Scott says good day JC. Pineapple under the bus. Sophie says hi JC. JC says today's Scott Platypus. And we've got Connie in. She says morning Lindsay friends in chat. JC Bricks and Build says hi Sophie. JC Bricks and Build says hi Connie. Sophie says hi Connie. Scott's Bottle says say nothing. Yeah, say nothing. It's easier, isn't it, mate? So that way you can't get accused of anything then, can you, if you say nothing? JC Bricks and Build says meant to say good day, not today. Damn auto correct. So Dragon Lover 68 says hi Sophie. Scott's Model says hi Connie. So yeah. Connie, if you want to come in for a bit, I'll send you the link, but it'll only be about for an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. Just let me know in the chat if you want to come in, and I'll just drop the link in. I'll drop you the link in Messenger. Sophie says hi Tin Man. She also says hi Lovely's Crafting. Yes, I still have this cough. I think smoker's cough, I think it is. So right. So that is what I'm going to put on, is that. I've got 4 at least to put on. So let's see if this is going to go on. Hope I don't get the shakes while doing it. It's like I say, I'm going to have to lift the boat up to do it. So never go right when you want to put things on. Okay, so it wants to play me up. Okay, that's just gone flying across the floor. Wow. Okay, we'll try another one. I don't know where that quite went, so got to be careful where I'm treading. Let's try another one. They are difficult to get in. It's not the sort of thing really I should have done online, but it makes it worse because I put this back bridge in. So now it's decided to stick to my tweezers. Oh. Now I'll just break this one. We're not having very much success here, are we? It's actually glued my tweezers together. Okay. There we go. Not having very much success, are we, guys? At the moment. So, Scott's model says, not today, mate. Scott says, having a feed. Connie says, I'm just waking up, have kitties to feed before joining JC in a bit. Thank you for the invite, no worries. Sophie says, Connie has kittens. JC says, oh, carpet monster time. Lindsay, did you forget to feed him before the stream? Yes. Sophie says, I want to cuddle kitties. Right. So I've got to repair this now before I can put this on. Okay, so I'll just stick that to one side. That's that one. Should we try again? Okay, try it at this angle. Okay, let's try again, shall we? So I've got one to find and one to repair. So I don't believe this. They're all falling to bits. Okay. So this is not good. I have to wait for that glue to dry off. Okay, so I'm going to have to put these two back together. Let's find that other one. Could take an hour. You know what I mean? I really do not like doing photo etch on live streams. Okay. So I've got to wait for that glue to dry off a bit before I can repair them. So let's just pull that over on the side for a minute. Just read a bit of chat. Sophie says, Scott, question mark. Connie says, I feed a semi-feral Connolly. and a few are friendly, but most just tolerate me as a can opener. Yeah, wildcats. We call them wildcats, if you know what I mean. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put this back on here. Hopefully that glue is dry already. So I'll put this back on this sticky pad. Then try and repair them. It's only the wheels come off, that's all it is. It's not broken or anything. It's just that it's, you know what I mean? I've not had very much success. So Connie says, Lindsay, some of these pieces make my eyes cross. Yeah, does mine. Does mine, Connie, unfortunately. So, yeah. Need a stick. Stick. One with a bit of glue on it. There we go. One with a bit of knobble on the end of it. Should have picked something a little bit simpler to do for an hour. So trying to yeah, he does love PE, Scott. He would have been cussing by now, so definitely he would have been cussing. Apple says, okay, my washing is hanging outside. Having been up early, decided today was the day, fine weather. Morning all. Morning, Apple. So, yeah. Okay, what was it doing? Hopefully, it's got some glue on it. Okay. Decided it wants to stick to my finger. Oh, this is just not happening, is it? Come on off. And that's just flew off somewhere on the floor. I see it. I think. No. That's really bad going. Well, this is not really happening, is it? Not really happening. This is a disaster. It's a disaster. That's 2 on the floor. This super glue ain't a lot of good either. I don't know. Not unless it sticks to your skin light, and then, yeah. You have to excuse the dog voicing its opinion. Oh. I don't believe this. That one's flicked off as well. It's on this bench somewhere. I don't believe this. I really don't. Sophie says hi again, Apple. Apple says hi, Sophie. Got rid of them bugs. Connie says hi, Apple. Apple says hello, Connie. Sophie says I've still got the bugs, Apple, but feeling slightly better today. Apple says morning, Roxy. Right, I've still got one that's complete out of 4. So there's one complete one on the floor, and it's one of the reels on the floor, on the bench, and one on the floor. So it's made it worse to get them on because I put that back bridge in before putting these in. So let's which way up? Come on, no. Just sit there. That's all I want you to do. Got one in. As the saying goes, 1 out of 3 ain't bad. So let that set for a minute. So I've got 2 reels to find and also a complete one. Found it. There's one. Okay. Let's clean a bit of glue off. God, this chat's going mad. Okay, Sophie says, oh, I've read that. Apple says space balls are for easier than tiny bits, yeah. Joshy B says, morning Lindsay, folks in the chat in the background today as I'm dismantling sheds again Out of the 4 in the garden, only 1 is staying as it's big to move. Hope all well. Connie says hi Joshy. Apple says morning Joshy B. And Joshy B says hi Connie and Apple. So clean the tweezers up. Get rid of the super glue on them. Got to talk some crap, you know. You got to talk crap though, ain't you, when you're on your own? Just got to jabber. So you got to jabber. Right. See if I can get that back on there. I should have known better than to do this on live stream. The stickiness of that is gone. Off that. Put a fresh bit on. Come on. Okay. Right. Let's try a bit of this stuff. Trouble is with this one, it dries too quick. Yeah, exactly, Joshy. Exactly, mate. Exactly. It's only me that understands what I'm saying. If I can get this one repaired. You're getting ahead of yourself here, mate. Right, here we go. Oh, come on, you stupid thing. Let's let that set for a minute. Okay. Let that set for a couple of minutes and then I can put it on. Let me do a chat. Sophie says, hi Joshy. Tim Man says, smash the like button, guys. Go on, smash it. Smash it for Lindseys cock ups. Carl says, good morning all. Morning, Carl. Sophie says, hi Carl. Joshy says, I often say sometimes to people, don't worry, I know what I'm talking about if you don't, but I can get confused, knock off someone after explaining something. Yeah. Joshy B says, Sophie, Tin Man and Carl. Connie says, hello, Tin Man and Carl. So yeah, just waiting for that bit to dry. Let's see if I can find that other bit while I'm down here. Hopefully it didn't drop down my computer. Finding other little bits of photo etch. But yeah, I can't exactly see where that flipped off to, that or not. No, my look, I'm standing on it. I'll have to have a good look later. So yeah. Tom Kangaroo down. Right, Skibby. Connie says, I'm already lit up. Cool. So Tim Mum says, hi, Connie. Yeah. Yeah, this has been a painstaking build. This one has. I'm really kind of going off it. But I've got to complete it. So, I mean, yesterday, bits during the week, I broke a rudder off as well, so I've got that to repair. I put all the photo etch railings on the bottom here, along here, on there, and same with to the side. Done exactly the same on there. So, and put some other little bits and pieces on. So, yeah. But I ain't got too much photo etch to go through now. Most of it's done. So the only bit I've got to do is when I actually put the deck on, because I've got to spray all at the front here first and in the back here, and then mask all that up. Do the hull red, then do the colour, and then I can drop the flight deck on. But then I've got to put over 40 or 50 braces on that actually go underneath the actual flight deck. So it's kind of going to be hard because of the painting. So I might have to leave the top half spraying, but make sure I mask all the front and back off. So yeah, it's just one of those builds. It's just like, it's kind of mad because this is the spray job I've got to do on it. Let me just show you. It's going to be rather hard. I mean, the camo's fine, but it's just the rest of it. You know what I mean? It's that splinter camo. So that way up, so you can see it better now. Yeah. So that's the spray job. So you got like your hook on here. Then you've got your IGN grey, which is your main colour. And then I can use actually NATO black for this because it's like a blue black anyway for this part. and this one here, I might have to mix this blue. So we'll have to see. And that's the other side. The other side's a bit more trickier on the other side. So yeah, then on top of the flight deck, you got like this IGN grey on the top and underneath here, and then you can put your flight. I've got to spray the flight deck off the build, and then once I get the flight deck on, then I can just like go through it. But these safety nets, I've actually got to spray these off on their frets, then put them on. So yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the bum. And then I've got all the planes to spray that I've built. There's 4 different sets. There's JU87s ×5. There's the AR195s ×5, BF109Ts ×5, and the F1167s ×5. So yeah. Yeah, still quite a lot to do, really, but we'll get through it. Once I can get through this painstaking part of it, then it won't be so bad. And once I get the flight deck on and everything else, it'll be plain sailing. So it won't be too hard. So if you know what I mean. So Joshy B says, "Old rudder, L not a broken rudder." Yeah, I broke one off, Joshy, and I've got to drill it and pin it. So Apple says, "Oh, you're doing a Fred Foot of Modern United, who did Sprinter Camo by airbrush." Yes, yeah, it'll all be done by airbrush. So, which is quite a painful experience trying to do that. So, right, let's see if we can get one more on. Okay. Pin somewhere. Okay, so the next one I've got to put just one side of that. Which is up near the back end, in between those holes, by the look of it. Yeah. So I've got to make sure I don't put these in the wrong place, because when you put the flight deck in, there's actually a all girders and everything else that support the back of the flight deck, and they go in through the back of the ship. You have to drill holes. I've drilled them out, and then it actually slides. If I can show you. This is what I'm talking about. This. I had to build all this as well. See, these 3 prongs, they actually slide inside the back here through some holes. So you've got to make sure that I don't put them in the wrong place. So that's the front that I built up as well. All that. That's all photo etched, that is, in there. So yeah. That took about a week just to do that bit. Okay, let's try and do this then. And then when we come off stream, I can go looking for bits and pieces. This would have been handy if I was left-handed. This bit. Where's that hole? There it is. Got to go in between these two holes in the back here. Get off. Come on. Let's decide to stick to my tweezers and get off. There we go. There we go. That's two on. Photo etch is not for the faint-hearted. Definitely not. Okay, let that dry off. Let's try and sort this rudder out. I hope I can find them other two bits. Because they are important. So I'm going to drill this and find something to put in it, and then drill the boat bit. Get this rudder back on. Sorry if you can't see. I need to hold it up to me so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Got the fumes off, it's super good, strong. Okay, we've got Mr. Offet 05 in. It says, what made it? Greetings everyone. Whooped made it. Greetings everyone. JC Bricks and Bill says, you're Joshy. JC Bricks and Bill says 12 watching, 9 thumbs up. Who's ducked? Connie says, hi Mr. Oi. Apple says, quack quack JC, rectified now. It's my first live stream since last Wednesday. So Okay. Need to go a little bit bigger than that without wrecking it. Let's just push this out of the way for a minute. I only want something thin. That'll do it, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, that'll do it. Yes, Roxy, we know you're here. She just loves my live streams. She's dedicated. Time you on, JC? 12 or 1? A bit further. $12. Okay. I'll make sure I'm off by then. So. Well, at least we've got 2 of those wheels on. So 2 out of 4. I've got half of one up here and a whole one on the floor. So God knows where that went to. Okay. Now I've got to try and fit a piece in. It's going to nobble on the end of it. Okay. This is how you repair rudders. I would normally use brass rod, but I haven't got any. So It's probably a little bit too big. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Wait for that to dry. super glue. Super glue, super glue. Okay, Plastic Monkey says, morning guys, morning Plastic Monkey, welcome in. Sophie said, I heard a rumour that JC will be making homemade dark chocolate chip cookies on his live stream this afternoon. Oh, that'll be something to see. Apple says, morning Paul. Paul says, hi Apple. JC Bricks and Bill says, that's no probs, buddy. Plastic Monkey says, morning JC. Sophie says, hi Plastic Monkey. JC Bricks and Build says, no baking on my stream. We'll be building bricks. Paul says, hi Sophie. JC says, hi Paul. And Sophie says, oh look, skillet pan. Yeah, mind that skillet pan. You don't want that flying around. I've got the drops today, haven't I? Okay, that's set for a minute. I'll chop that down a bit. Get off my fingers. I think I want about that much, I think. There we go. So now I'm going to drill into the bottom of the boat. This will be fun. See if I can break anything else. Okay. Need to lean it on something. Try and clip that bit off. Okay. Right, I need to actually lean this on something so I can push down on it. Because I don't want to wreck my railings. Good. Push it back a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Right. Let's get the whole started, that's the thing. In the right place. It's not as easy as you think. This. Come on. Got to go in the right place. You've got to go right in the middle. There we go. Do it nice and steady. You've got to go in about 3 millimeters, something like that. Connie says hi, Paul. Dorcas says, well, look who I found. Good morning. Morning, Dorcas. Ryan's in too, and he says hello. Hello there, Ryan. What ship you making? It's the 1350 Graf Zeppelin aircraft carrier, DKM. Paul says hi, DRG. Connie says hi, Dorca. And Ryan, Plastic Monkey says hi, Ryan. Multitask. Plastic Monkey says hi, Ryan. Ryan says I'm on the HMS Belfast Airfix. Oh, cool. Is that the 1600? Apple says morning, Dorca. How's the knee? Apple says morning, Ryan. Mr. Offit says nice drill. What kind do you use? Power. This is just a hand drill. One that I always do it by hand. I don't like using power drills because they burn the plastic. Ryan says morning, Apple. Crafting Budgie Mama's in, and she says hi. That a drill bit, Lindsay? Is that a drill bit, Lindsay? Yeah. Okay, we're through that bit. Okay, we've got to make the hole bigger now. Apple says morning, Tasha. Jeff Light says a very good morning, guys. Morning, Jeff and Maggie. Apple says hi, Jeff and Maggie. Mr. Offit says thanks. Tin Man says hi, Tasha. Dorcas says everything still hurts, along with a few extras. Extra. Read all about it. Yeah, I remember when I dropped my motorbike once. God, I only had a t-shirt on. I had road rash everywhere, all over my arms, up my back, all over my chest. I left half of my skin on the road. It was a mess. Ryan says, off in my house, I've had a bad dreams, might head back. HMS Belfast. Dorcas says the knee, it's still swollen, but I can get around better. Well, that's cool, as long as you can get around. Yeah, I think that Airfix one is the 1600, isn't it? They're quite famous for making 1600. I need to drill all the way through this. We're nearly there. And you had all the gear on. Ryan says, yeah, it is. You had all the gear on as well. Well, it's lucky you did have all the gear on, really. Otherwise, it could have been quite nasty. You'd be lucky to get away with what you did. Okay. Okay. Do. Come on, get in. A bit higher. God, too late now. Super glued it. Knew that would snap. We've got to do that all over again now. Ryan says I lost track where I was on the ship. Ryan says I think I might make the Bismarck next. Is that the Tammy one? Ryan says I am shipping spree, laughing my ass off. Jeff Light says leathers don't stop friction burns as I found in my younger days. And that's very true. Apple says the joys of modelling ships. Yeah, you could say that. So I've got to do all this again now. I snapped it. Sophie says, I'm feeling a bit queasy. Time for a lay down. Thanks for a lovely live stream. Bye for now. Bye-bye, Sophie. Apple says, yes, Jeff, been there. Got the T-shirt. Blood spots to prove it. Dorcas says, hi, Jeff and Maggie. Ryan says, oh, no, the spring sale on Amazon. Yeah, don't look on Amazon. Dorcas says, hi, Apple and Sophie. Yeah, that's bad for your health when you look on Amazon. Dorcas says, hi, Apple and Sophie. Jeff Light says, hope you're feeling better soon, Sophie. I'll make it shorter this time. Okay. Let's try again. I mean, I could lay it straight on top and glue it, but it wouldn't hold for long. It'd break off again. Couldn't believe I snapped it off. I was trying to push it in. Like that. Okay. Let's put a pin on. She'll have to finish soon anyway. JC's on in a bit. Come on. What I want is a frigging guide on. It's not too much to ask. It's just ain't happening, is it? Okay, we'll do it the butcher way. Now we've got to pile it on. I think it's still quite raised from that bit I broke off. It's a good job this is only in primer, isn't it? This build is actually been a pain in the ass from day one. It's just one of those builds. Really is just one of those builds. There we go, we've got it going now. Okay. Actually, I'm going to actually make that hole a little bit bigger this time. Ryan says I made a bolt action kit. Connie says hi, Jeff and Maggie. Jeff Light says hi, Connie. Crafty Muggy Mum says hi, Lindsay. Hello there, Dasher. Jeff Light says hi, Dork. Jeff Light says hi, Apple. Ryan says was going to make an Airfix McLaren, made the Lamborghini. Oh, nice. I haven't made any cars for years. Make these stupid things instead. All it wanted was just that little extra. Right, find another piece now to put in. Okay, here we go. Let's just move some of this shit out of the way. Okay. Another 5 minutes, guys. I'll have to cut off because JC's on. Yeah, it's no good losing your rag with builds. So there we go. It fits perfect this time. Just let that set. So, well, let's go cameras up. Mikey at Putnam Junction says, bye all, thanks for company, stay safe. Dork says, okay, who wants to make the coffee? Says, I really don't feel like getting up. Ryan says, yo, I am on second cup of coffee. Dorcas says, good morning, Connie. Dorcas says, bye, Mike. Apple says, stay safe, Mike. Ryan says, I've got a Anastasia, I'm listening to her sing on Hyper Alert. Oh, wow. Okay. So we'll go up camera. Sorry I can't stay no longer, but I don't really want to stream over the top of JC. So we've had an hour and 14 minutes. So anyway, after all those disasters, we got the rudders repaired. We've got 2 of those hose reels on. One's on the floor and half the other one's somewhere along here somewhere. So yeah. So PPM tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. We do have a gallery, so get your builds in before 8 p.m. at night time. So it's UK time. It's a Facebook group. yeah, they're cool, aren't they? I've got loads of them. I actually do the diamond art myself. It's one of those things I chill off stream with. Ryan says, good stream, Lindsay. Well, I don't know about that, Ryan. It was a bit of a disaster, building wise anyway. Good laugh, though. JC Bricks and Builds says, good stream, buddy. Ryan says, catch you next time. Bye, Ryan. Mr. Offit says, thanks, Lindsay. This was the first live stream I've ever watched. Oh, cool. Yeah, well, I'm on again tomorrow. Tomorrow night, UK time, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. So look out for the notification if you subscribe to my channel. Connie says, hope everyone has a great day. And you, Connie. So say goodbye. See you soon. Ta-da for now. Hang on. There we go. End stream.